Today, I am really going to show you all the incredible story of the Saiyan who survived the destruction of planet Vegeta and has a latent power greater than Broly himself. Year 732, planet Vegeta, the natal planet of the Saiyan race after the destruction of planet Sadala. This extremely violent race is famous throughout the entire galaxy for its ferocity. However, this story does not begin with a war tale, but with something very common to the members of the Saiyan race, that is friendship. And the story begins with Goku's mother speaking. She said, "It is so good to see you again, Peppa. It has really been so long since we sat down and talked properly." And she answers, "Sorry about that, Guinho. Things are hectic, especially with the new baby. How is that husband of yours?" And she answers, "Bardock is working as usual. He just left for another mission a few days ago. Were you not in the same squad once? You should come see us the next time he is at home." And she answers, "Agreed, but only on the condition that you cook. I am a fighter. Domestic duties were never my thing." And Guinho answers, "Ah, seriously, that is why I only see you eat those prepackaged foods." She gets mad and speaks, "These foods are delicious." Guinho answers, "Are you trying to convince me or yourself? They are delicious." It is right. Guinho said, "Hey, have you been actually talking to that Charlotte one lately? It has been a while since I saw her." And Peppa answers me, "And her we are not exactly close as we are now." And Guinho answers, "Ah, sorry." And Peppa says, "Forget it. Tell me about your son." "What is his name?" "Rigor, is that right?" "Yes, he is really getting big, but still has some time before he leaves the feeding capsule. They say he has quite some potential to grow." Peppa says those are great news. "What is his fighting power?" And Guinho answers 50. He is a little above average. And Peppa answers, "Not a bad number for a baby. I mean, yes, but from what I saw, the prince's number makes his seem like nothing." Peppa answers, "True, I have not heard yet." And Guinho explains, "Are you being serious? Everyone knows he broke all the previous records." "True, what was his number?" And Guinho says 538. And Peppa gets surprised. And Guinho continues, "Yes, they say he has the ingredients for a super elite for sure, maybe even." "Ah, wait, do you already know your son's number?" And Peppa says yes, and it was very, very high. And Guinho answers, "True, come on, say, it do not keep me waiting." And she says, "It was 510. What?" "Yes, 510, that is crazy. Saiyan children rarely reach 500. The prince's number itself was literally irregular, but for two to be born with more than 500 on the same day, I mean, that is incredible. I know that you never talk about him, but should we not let the father know?" Peppa answers, "He already knows, Guinho, believe me, he knows." Peppa's scouter rings. She answers, "Here is Lieutenant Peppa, go ahead." "True, so soon. Should we go to another one? I see, understood, I am on the way." And Guinho asks, "What is it?" And Peppa says, "New orders directly from the king. We are taking the mission forward again, that damned Frieza." "What is it done now?" Guinho says, "Well, and your son?" And Peppa answers, "He is still in the capsule in the infirmary. He will be out in just a few days from now. Guinho, I need you to promise me that if anything happens, I want you to be the only one taking care of my boy." And Guinho answers Peppa, I cannot. "Promise me, Guinho, we have no one else. You are the only one I trust to take care of him if I am gone." And Guinho said, "All right, Peppa, I promise." And Peppa thanks, saying thank you. Peppa says, "I will be back in a few days. I will ask for authorization so I can check on my son." Guinho said, "Ah, have you already given him a name?" And Peppa answers, "Of course, I gave him my own father's name in homage to him." "True, that is so beautiful. What is his name then?" And she answers, "Rigor." Here ends the first part. Let us go to the second part. In the second part, right on the very cover, we can already see Vegeta, still very young, with Rigor, the son of Peppa, by his side. They are on planet Palma 6 years later, meaning that they are still quite young themselves. After reaching maturity, both Rigor and Prince Vegeta were involved in missions to subjugate many distant worlds. Powerful as they were, it was no surprise when they ended up in the same squad. Then we see a whole group of Saiyans. A girl says, "Phew, what a day. The fighters of this village were a little tougher than the others." And Rigor says, "Yes, but we are making good time, and with some luck we can leave this place in a day or two." One of the Saiyans, who visually looks quite like Broly himself, says, "Good thing, because this food stinks." Wow, always thinking with your stomach, comments a Saiyan. Then the girl who is in the corner says, "Maybe we can leave everything alone on the next planet. He could devour the inhabitants, the redemption." He answers, "Watch your mouth there, rookie. This is only your third mission here with us. Compared to you, I am an experienced veteran in this. Actually, how did you even get into this squad in the first place? Your power level barely reaches 3 digits. She gets sad, says I. Rigor then answers for her, saying, "I really want her in this squad of ours. Besides, you know how these cells work. 1 or 2 low positions with the elite so they can gain experience and we can cover them. If you have any problem with her, you can talk to me." He says, "All right, so be it." Rigor really stood up for her back there. The other answers anyway, "What does it matter if she is the weakest of our group? She has helped more than our new commander since we arrived here." And he answers, "I think you are right. I mean, we have been here for what, 2 days now, and he still does not have even a single scratch on him. We would probably clean this place faster if he fought more than just with the strongest one in each village." The girl, whose name I will not spoil yet, says, "How did he get to be our new leader just because he is the prince? I mean, come on, you are as strong as him, are you not?" And Rigor says, "Kind of, but it is not like it matters matters, I could be twice as strong, but he still surpasses me. And we see Vegeta with a grumpy face and everyone there behind him. That presumptuous little punk does not even know any of our names. I do not care if he is the prince. I would love to knock him down with a pin or two. And Rigor looks already imagining things. Right in front of the campfire, Rigor gets up from his spot. She asks Rigor, where are you going? I am going to have a chat. Then he arrives in front of the prince. Vegeta: I do not remember asking for your presence, soldier. Rigor says, with all respect, sir, I know this is your first mission with us, but should you not at least try to learn the names of your squad companions? And Vegeta, still with his back turned, answers, why should I? Vegeta feels a hand on his shoulder and then says, take your hand off. Rigor lands a really clean punch right on Vegeta's face. He says, get up. It is time for you and your shiny armor to get dirty like the rest of us. Vegeta says, you little one, I am the prince. Striking someone of nobility is treason. I could send you to be executed for this. Rigor says how sad the prince of the Saiyan, hiding behind his crown like a coward. And Vegeta says, coward, how dare you? Rigor says, you will no longer disrespect this squad. No classification, no politics, just us. I can tell you have been looking for a good fight since we arrived here. In that case, why do you not give me a chance right now? That ends part 2 now, and let us then go to part 3, which is the penultimate part. On the cover of the penultimate part, we see Peppa with Rigor and that girl by his side. Why is she getting so much spotlight in this story? Will she appear more later on in the story? Then we see 2 whole ships arriving, plus 1 individual little ship, which is Vegeta's ship. 5 days later, are you okay? You are hurt. And we see Rigor with wounds. He says he humiliated me, Sapari. I challenged him and he beat me like I was low-class trash. I could not even touch the guy. Our powers may be somewhat similar, but his ability itself is really incredible. He clenches his fist and says, I can overcome the wounds, but not my pride. He really made me feel it. He really made me feel just so weak. And Sapari holds him and says, you are not weak, and says not to me. Rigor gets a bit surprised by this, but gives a little smile back. Rigor says, one day, Sapari, I promise I will be the only one looking down at him. He will look at me, I swear. Then they arrive on planet Vegeta. All of them are gone. Are you really sure of this? Those were the words all members Kaio and MMA or MEA. Then the older Saiyan answers, what a pity I knew all of them. I even worked with Morocco and Kaio before, and they were all really good soldiers. I think that the king wants my squad to take care of the work now. Then suddenly we see sitting at the table Bardock himself, and he said actually another different squad has already been dispatched. That is not really why I called you here, Peppa. 2 members of that squad, Kaio and Boko. I am sure you already know they had a daughter, by the way, her name. If I am not mistaken, I think she is in the same squad as your son. And Peppa said, wait, you are not about to ask me what I think you are about to say. And Bardock said it was quite unanimous. They felt the transition would be easier with you seeing that she is a friend of your son, and having a warrior like you as a guardian can only benefit her greatly. You could turn her into a really good fighter someday. Peppa stands right up and says, are you really kidding me here? He knows very well that I am a member of the elite of King Vegeta. I am almost never home. I barely had time to raise and train my own son. Now you want me to be guardian of another child. Bardock said, hey, do not hit the messenger here. It really was not my decision. Peppa said, I flat out refuse, Peppa. I do not want to hear it. And now they go outside. Come on, Peppa. I know things have not been easy, but if not for Kaio and Boko, then do it as a favor for me, for a friend. She sighs deeply and says, all right, fine, I will do it. Good girl, but you owe me a lot for this, you know. And Bardock says, put it on my tab. Then the 3 ships go to land on planet Vegeta. Does Sapari know about her parents, I mean? And Bardock says no. And we see a conversation of them saying to each other, then I catch on the way back, besides you owe me a lot for this. And King Vegeta is coming out of his individual ship. Sapari is very excited to be back with Rigor. And Rigor himself is even in a decent good mood, however. With his pride still wounded, all of them are wounded except Vegeta, who is intact. Then an adult Saiyan comes to Vegeta to say, how was your mission, Prince? Vegeta says, nothing worth remembering, now take me home. And the chapter explains the next day, Prince Vegeta began to carry out solo missions on his own, making his first mission with Rigor's squad the last. Having defeated young Rigor so deeply, Vegeta forgets everything about him still, without ever knowing the boy's real name. As for the 2 friends destined, the life of both of them changed, and now they are about to change even more, in ways that neither one of them could have ever imagined. And then this continues to the very last part, which is part 4 of the story. On the cover of part 4, we have Peppa, planet Vegeta 1 year later. Peppa asks Doctor how is he doing. Your boy is tough for sure, some broken ribs and a broken left arm besides that. Just some scratches and bruises, he will be healed in no time. Peppa smiles, gets happy and says, that is my little troublemaker. And the doctor says, just needs about 30 minutes or more. As soon as he comes out, I will release him to go home. And Peppa said, thank you, doctor. I am leaving, then I have a mission to fulfill. And he said, I really missed you, Peppa. If I could have your attention for just one more moment of your time. And she says, what is the problem? Is something wrong with Rigor that you have not told me? And he said, oh no, nothing of the sort. short, it is just, is there any way for you to confirm this for me? What was your son's battle power before he carried out his most recent mission? His battle power? I am not sure. It has been a month since I saw him. Anyway, if I am not mistaken, he and Sapari were excited that he was around 5,000 at the time. And the doctor says, in my analysis, between your son and the Prince Strange. Peppa says this matches our record, 5,100 to be exact. And Peppa questions why the question. And the doctor says, well, I am the chief doctor of planet Vegeta. Since our race became part of Frieza's army over the years, I have gained a good idea of how our people get strong when we heal from our wounds. So well actually that I can usually reduce the number to 10 degrees. In your son's case, his wounds should no longer justify more than a few hundred degrees. I projected that he could reach 5,500. Even with the most extreme improvement rate, he should not even come close to 6,000 without some kind of serious bodily injury. And Peppa said, okay, what is it then? And he answers, well, your son, his battle power according to our scanners, the power of your son reached more than 6,300 just a few minutes ago. 6,300, no way, are you sure? As far as I can tell, I ran the scanner 3 separate times, each time the number was increasing at the same constant rate. It is possible that he has an infection or an injury that we contracted, but even so, we should not see a spike like this. At the current rate that he is increasing his power, will be greater than 7,000 when he is fully healed. Peppa gets scared. Doctor, did you tell anyone else? And he says, well, no, but you know the king, he will want to be informed of such development. She says, yes, you are right. Maybe it is time for me to have a discussion with him about this. And behind her appears King Vegeta, and just like that, it ends. And what happens next? What story is this? Where did this manga come from? Well, this manga is called Dragon Ball History of Rigor, and this manga is a doujin, a manga made by a fan, but as you all know, in Dragon Ball, fan-made manga have as much quality or even more quality than the original manga, like the example of Dragon Ball, Kakume, and others that I have already brought here to the channel and I will bring, and others that I will not even spoil, but I can bring. So it ends just like that, just like that. No folks, actually it precedes another manga called Dragon Ball New Age, which is a really good manga, and I can bring all the chapters for you here on the channel. Alright, Vegeta committed the biggest mistake of his life 40 years ago, and he does not even remember it. He messed with the Saiyan, who was born with a fighting power comparable to Broly's, but unlike Broly, this guy trained his whole life, and now he is coming to Earth to get his revenge. And I will only say one thing, I suspect that not all of the Zed warriors can handle this guy. It all starts in West City, a lot of time has passed, and Goten now is already an adult. We can notice that he is on a date, and the girl says, Goten, I am so excited, this is going to be so much fun. I have never been to one, what did you call it? And to the movies, I have only watched movies at home. And Goten says, that is exactly why I wanted to take you there. You are really going to love it. Are you really sure that we are not dressed too casual? A place like this is required to have a dress code. Alright. And Goten says, no, we are just fine. Satan City, now we are at Orange Star High School, the same school that Gohan studied at back in the Majin Buu Saga arc. Well, Steve, maybe it would not really be difficult for you to study a little more, you know? Man, come and look at this, a quiz right at the beginning of the year. Come on, think the test is tomorrow. We can do a study session tonight at my house if everyone wants to. And you, Pan, would you like to join us? Definitely answers Pan, count me in on that, guys. And we can now see how Pan is looking now after such a long time. Then we see a Capsule Corporation car, and who is inside of it is Trunks himself. He says the press conference tomorrow for the latest hardware release news sites will all be available. Ah, are you really sure that my mother will not be present? She cannot make it instead of that. And Trunks' secretary says Ms. Bulma will not be present. I am really afraid you will have to deal with it on your own. Ah well, he seems nervous, and he says, by the way, when should we do that in due time, says her, holding onto Trunks' arm. Then the scene goes to Kami-sama's lookout, where Mr. Popo is standing. So peaceful. However, Popo wishes that Dende comes back soon. It has been a while since Dende saw Popo. He must be having fun. Popo can wait. Popo will be right here. Besides, Popo is not alone this time. Then he looks right back and sees that Piccolo is meditating. Then we finally arrive at Mount Paozu right at Goku's house. Chi-Chi is calmly whistling, and she says, I wonder how those three are doing up there. Then we see Goku in Super Saiyan 4. He is training with Gohan and also with Oob, who is now already very grown up. Oob actually went to train with Goku in the very last episode of Dragon Ball Z. Kibitoshin is on the planet of the Kaioshins, going through a hard time. He says, great ancestor. Maybe it really was a bad idea to say that they could train here. Hey, take it easy. You could still, we are here, you know, says the old Kaioshin. And Goku thinks, I cannot get rusty even a little bit. I still cannot become a god by myself, but I know there are things beyond Super Saiyan 4 and I intend to find it, says Vegeta himself, who was thinking the same exact thing as Goku, and continues saying, we are finally equal. Now I refuse to let Kakaroto get ahead of me again, not even for a single moment. The warriors of the earth enjoy these last 3 years, but while they enjoy this peace, a face from a long forgotten past begins its descent to earth. Then let us open Vegeta's little daughter, who was a baby back in Dragon Ball Super. She asks another really hard day in the gravity room, Daddy. Vegeta looks back and sees Bulma and Bra. Bulma says, every single day this man has not missed a day since his son came back. Then she grabs a water bottle and says, here Daddy, drink up and take a bath before you start to stink. Then she throws the bottle and Vegeta catches it in the air. But then a great noise can be heard out of nowhere. What was that? An earthquake? Asked Bulma. Just a tremor. Calm down, he said to her. Then we see the impact of two big Saiyan ships. From inside the ship comes out a girl. She has a scouter and a scar on her face. She then presses the scouter. And suddenly, coming out of the ship, we see a man and he says catching something. And she says abundant life here, a whole handful of readings of large units, with a large one greater than mine for sure. But there is a large one nearby. It is a little comparable to yours. Where? Let me see. It seems to be in the city we passed. Let us go. Then she then touches his arm and says, maybe you should rest for a moment first. It is dangerous to strain yourself so soon after coming out of hypersleep. And he says, no, I have already rested more than enough. Then he grabs her hand and says, come on. And carrying her in his arms, he starts to fly away. Piccolo, scared, feels a huge key. What is this? Asks Goten, scared too. What is wrong, Goten? Gohan also gets really scared, and Gil says, Miss Pan, massive energy reading detected, Gil. Trunks also gets very surprised. Trunks, what is the problem? And even Vegeta manages to sense it. What? Who is that? This is not Kakaroto. Damn, whoever they are coming here fast, Vegeta. Then he goes outside. It really has been a long time, he remembers. Then the man looks down at him and says, Prince Vegeta. They face each other face to face. Bulma asks Vegeta, who is that? A friend of yours, Daddy. Then he gets apprehensive. The man then stares and says, so it is you. Vegeta gets really surprised. When I first heard that planet Vegeta had been destroyed, I really feared that you had perished with it, but my heart somehow I knew you had survived, and now it really seems that fate has rewarded my faith. And Vegeta says, I really do not think I know you at all. The prince does not remember us, says the girl. He may have completely forgotten us, but I will never be able to forget him, and he has a debt to pay. Debt? What debt? I really do not even know who you are. Yes, we have an unresolved history. Do you remember Planet Palma? Planet Palma, yes, and the squad that you released for that single mission at the night when a lonely child faced you? Do you remember the only single time that a subordinate actually hit you? Vegeta now remembers the day when he stepped right on this guy's head. Let this be a lesson to you in your way. You may have raw strength, but you lack technique and grace. You will never be an equal of mine. Now you are where you belong, under my boot. Now I remember you are that black-tailed brat, the one that I put in his place that night. So you remember? So you came all the way here to settle a childhood fight, all because I beat you decades ago. That is part of it, but no, you have a life debt and you are going to pay. I have no clue what you are talking about. What life debt? He gets angry. Calm down there. Then he breathes and looks. Then he notices that Bulma and Bra are his family back there. They get scared. Vegeta says not that. He points his finger and says, maybe this can refresh your memory. And Vegeta gets in front shouting, stop. Looking over, he says, protecting the others, how given of you. And Bulma arrives saying, hey, I really do not know who you think you are, but you cannot just arrive at someone's house and threaten them like this. Then Bulma tries to slap him, and suddenly the girl catches Bulma's hand. Touch my husband and I kill you. And of course Bulma quiets down. Mother. Vegeta says, alright, there is a deserted area not far from here. Whatever it is, let us settle this there. Very well, Daddy, do not worry at all. I will be just fine. You could. Then they go flying toward the place. At Kami-sama's lookout, Mr. Popo says Popo does not like this at all. Piccolo answers, neither do I, old friend. I really feel an intense malice from that stranger. What do we do watch for now? Vegeta is the strongest of us. Besides Goku, we would only get in his way there. Oh dear. Vegeta continues flying up, and the girl says, a family? I really cannot say. I was expecting this. And the man just ignores. He tried to protect them. Maybe he has changed. It does not matter. His sins are already engraved in history, and he will pay for what he did, even if it is the last thing I ever do. And she gets upset, but says nothing. A few minutes later, here we are. This must be far enough. Then they descend. Vegeta looks at them. Then they face each other before we begin this here. Tell me your names, because I am not going to keep calling you a black-tailed brat. Our names, he wants to know our names. They get surprised. Then we cut back to a flashback. With all due respect, sir, I know this is your first mission with us, but couldn't you at least try to learn your squad mates' names? Why should I? He gets angry, but tries to shake the memory off and focus on what's happening now. Is this some kind of joke? You threatened my family in front of me, and now you question my honesty? The man's face hardens, and he answers, Rigor. And this is Separi. Stare each other down again until they take their fighting stances. I should warn you, I am far stronger than the last time we met. It does not matter. That was the last time you beat an inexperienced child. We are not children anymore. Do not hold back. When I go down, I want you to know there was nothing you could have done to survive. Do not hold back. That is a request you will come to regret, says Vegeta. Rigor watches and asks, is that your best? Then allow me to return the favor. Kirippa says, you cannot do that again. It will kill you. Do not worry, I will not need that. Tell me your power level. She checks the scouter and says, no way, 20 million? 20 million. Then this state should be more than enough. Rigor prepares. Vegeta looks stunned. Piccolo tenses up. Then he transforms. The light from Rigor's transformation can be seen across the whole area. Kuripa and Vegeta watch as he shifts into a completely new form, with light hair and black pupils. The manga makes a point of showing a striking colored panel of the transformation, close to a Super Saiyan 3, but with a red aura. The fight goes on, and Vegeta sees Rigor's new form. What is that? It looks like a Super Saiyan, but stronger, and those red eyes, that red aura. Rigor looks over, and in the blink of an eye, he is right in front of Vegeta. Fast, Vegeta, he says, and a thunderous punch completely shatters the ground of the battlefield. Vegeta tries to counter with a kick, but Rigor stops it easily with one hand and swings back with a punch. The two are locked in an even fight, moving so fast they cannot be seen by the naked eye. Rigor and Vegeta trade blows, but it looks like Vegeta is losing ground. What are you, Judgment? Then Rigor throws Vegeta aside. Judgment for what? Do not play dumb. You know exactly what I am talking about. Then Vegeta unleashes a wave of energy blasts, hoping to land a hit on Rigor, but nothing seems to work. He flies right through the attacks with no trouble at all, until he appears above Vegeta and lands a direct hit, slamming him down. Vegeta hits the ground and tries to fire back an energy blast, but with just one arm, Rigor easily dodges it. He appears in front of Vegeta in an instant and swings hard, but Vegeta manages to dodge. Rigor looks surprised at Vegeta's reflexes, and Vegeta rushes back in to counterattack, landing a devastating punch square on Rigor's face. He follows with an uppercut, but Rigor blocks it. Vegeta looks stunned as Rigor returns the blow, then hits him with a lateral strike that sends him flying. You used to hit harder as a kid, Rigor says. Vegeta glares at him. Is this a game to you? Not at all. I just wanted you to know that nothing you do will matter. Give me your best shot. You want my best? Fine then. Vegeta gathers his power for one final attack, focusing his ki into his right hand. Let's see how you handle this, Final Flash. He unleashes the blast, but Rigor shouts, and in the blink of an eye, kicks it straight up into the sky with no effort at all, sending Vegeta's energy off the planet. Impossible. Piccolo tenses. Mr. Popo says, "This is not good, Popo. Contact the Kaioshin. Goku needs to know about this." Right. Trunks looks worried, and his secretary asks what is wrong. Trunks, this is hard to explain. Meanwhile, the girl enjoys the movie, while Goten looks completely on edge too. Rigor rises again against Vegeta. They face off, and Rigor shows his dominance. How does it feel, Vegeta, facing a future you cannot change, a fate you cannot escape? How does it feel to know that for all your praised power, you are completely powerless? I have carried this weight for decades, haunted by your cruelty, tormented endlessly by what you did, so much that I cannot sleep without the visions. I do not remember the last time I slept the whole night. And we observe Rigor's dark circles, darling. Vegeta asks, what is this? What is what you keep talking about this? And I still do not know why we are fighting, if it is not what happened on planet Palma that night. So what is it? What did I do for you to hate me so much? Rigor closes his eyes and says, You really do not remember, do you? Then he begins the flashback with the explanation. I suppose I should not be surprised after all. How many lives have you already taken without thinking twice? And we see Rigor looking when his mother is in front of him. Why would her death have been different? Hers what? Rigor looks at his hand and says, decades ago I made a promise, a life promise that you destroyed. And we see a page of Rigor with his mother, a life that I destroyed. This was 1 year after what happened on planet Palma. My mother was an elite Saiyan. She worked with your father, Vegeta. Sapari was living with us at the time I was in the infirmary, healing a broken arm. My mother left for a mission of her own after I went in. But Sapari was there to meet me after I came out. We went home stopping just enough to see Mom's friend on the way. For those not in the know, that is Goku's mother. But when we got home, I knew something was wrong, and I was right. Then we see the face of a cruel Saiyan. A Saiyan warrior was there waiting for us. He was so strong I tried to fight back, but I could not defend against him. But then he hit Sapari, and I only saw red. Then it cuts to the man on the ground with Rigor scared and Sapari watching. I do not know how, but Sapari told me that I killed him in a single blow. I was wounded, but we were alive. That when my mother lowered her guard, beaten, bloodied, her own squad turned against her, they said she was a traitor, but I know my mother, she would never have betrayed the king. Vegeta gets surprised. She said more were coming and we had to escape. She kept 2 emergency capsules in the back of our house. She rushed us to them with coordinates, but before we noticed more soldiers came, there was no more time. She must have known she would not make it, and neither would we if she did not stay to hold them back. I tried to get out. I could not just watch her die, but she clicked the pod control to launch as soon as the engines were ready. But how she was. Then Sapari remembers sadly until a beam can be seen, and Rigor, crying with a bloody hand, sees his mother receiving a lethal blow right in the heart shot in the back, murdered in cold blood. And the bastard who did that was you. And Vegeta gets surprised. So much has happened since then, but I could never forget what happened that night, if I could never. Then Rigor's eyes begin to gain a black color. His aura also changes to black. And Trunks is trembling again. Take the controls. What take the controls? I have to go. And where are we flying? I will explain everything when I come back, I promise. Then Trunks flies out. Palace, I have to go to the bathroom. This I will be right back. Just keep enjoying the movie. And she gets happy, and the kid next to her says, I bet he has to go do number 2. And she gets curious and asks what is number 2. Goten goes to the combat field. I am so so sorry, Palace, I will make it up to you, but I cannot ignore this. Vegeta is in trouble. And we see Rigor's transformation. What kind of power is this? Oh no, not again, not. Sapari goes running. What is she doing? Asks Vegeta. Darling, please, you need to calm down. Look at me, darling. Come back to me. Come back from that place. I am here. Then feeling Sapari's touch, Rigor returns. I am sorry. I got carried away. Alright, you are back now. What just happened? Asks Vegeta. You are getting very agitated. You must not continue this for much longer. You are right. Let us end this. Then we see someone talking to their people through a crystal ball. And this is the problem we find ourselves in. Goku must be alerted. We fear that Vegeta may fall in this battle and continue alone. Then the old Kaioshin appears, and he says, this is really a terrible situation, Mr. Popo. I will warn Goku. Then there was an explosion. Just stop destroying our planet. Oh man, that Goku. Piccolo Popo informed our Lord Celestials, but Piccolo. Then we see that Piccolo has vanished. At Orange Star High School, Pan is there again. Pan, are you okay? Are you cold or something? I am not fine. It is this great power got even higher than before. I want to go. I want to help. But I would only get in the way, like last time. Then we see Vegeta, and he keeps getting beaten. He is on his knees, and Rigor says, you know, it is hard to imagine while I am here now that at the same time you seemed like the darkness incarnate to me. I thought that those words you spoke on planet Palma would always be true, that I could never reach you, the prince. It seems that my hatred has been a powerful motivator. Vegeta looks up, then Rigor prepares another blow. Now you can join your black-hearted father in the afterlife, and my mother's soul can finally rest. Then suddenly an energy attack falls on Rigor, and Vegeta gets surprised, managing then to escape from the attack. Rigor is slightly injured. He looks back and sees Piccolo. Sapari gets surprised. She says, where did he come from? There was no reading on the scouter. What is this you fight for, Vegeta? For him, not with him, much less. You are his ally. What asks Sapari? Then arrive Goten and Trunks, more of them. Dad, are you okay, Dad? The kids. You are all fools for coming here. You say that like it is something new, answers Trunks. Who is this guy? His Kai is insane. And Vegeta says, it does not matter. I warn all of you now, this matter is between Vegeta and me only. If you continue to interfere, I will have no guilt in going through you to reach him. So what is the plan? Asked Trunks. I do not have one. He is much stronger than I thought he would be and can be even stronger. Piccolo says, even stronger, are you sure? Vegeta looks and speaks with his rage. His power began to rise at an almost exponential level. I believe that what we sense from him now is only a fringe of what he really is capable of. Rigor looks and Goten says, well, this is simply spectacular. So what do we do? Without that clown Kakaroto Piccolo, you three can grab his attention for at least a minute. And Piccolo says, Pons, that is us. I do not think making him angrier is a good idea, but with the three of us, a minute may be possible. Vegeta says, then I may have a way. The next chapter is called Vegeta's Ace. Vegeta killed this Saiyan's mother without mercy. This was the biggest mistake of his life. Now the guy came back to collect, and he is stronger than Broly, and Vegeta is not managing against him. Goku will be alerted of all this. Will Goku manage to bring down this monster who suddenly rose? You may have a way, asks Piccolo, who just saved Vegeta from death. Yes, it is a shot in the dark, but it is the best I can do, answers Vegeta. And you only need 1 minute at least, and place it in the air. I cannot release this in any direction. It has to be upward. In any other direction, it can destroy Earth. And Piccolo gets surprised. Rigor, Vegeta's opponent, does not get surprised at all. Separe, Rigor's wife, says it seems they are making some plan. You should not be so close. I do not want you to get hurt. In the same way, just be careful. Keep your guard up and keep your temper under control, please. Very well, 1 minute at least, says Piccolo. Then Vegeta holds Piccolo's arm, leaving Piccolo surprised. We only have one chance at this. There is no way to know what will happen if we lose. In that case, it is better you take care of that which is your true objective, answers Piccolo. Then Piccolo goes in the direction. Get out, Sapari, says Rigor. Then we see Goten, Piccolo, and Trunks prepared to buy a little time. Goten, Trunks, we will need to hit hard for this. Trunks and Goten look at each other with a smile. Then Piccolo goes in Rigor's direction. Attacking alone, he is crazy. Piccolo prepares a punch and says this is going to hurt. Then he lands it, but Rigor does not suffer any damage. He continues with a sequence of attacks, and we see that Rigor just looks in every direction, predicting every one of Piccolo's blows without any problem. He receives all the attacks but stays unshaken. Then he clenches his fist and lands a punch clean on Piccolo's face that sinks Piccolo into the ground. One obstacle removed now for the other, and suddenly he takes a punch. He gets surprised. Sorry to keep you waiting, but the hero of Justice Gotenks is back. We see the adult Gotenks now in Super Saiyan Saiyan 3. Who is that? Where did the other two go? You could not have arrived here a little sooner, says Piccolo. Sorry, old man, but this was much more dramatic. I thought that at least older you would have corrected that attitude. Vegeta gets happy and says, good work, boys. Now, Vegeta prepares with all his might and opens his two arms firms. His base then begins to shout, preparing two gigantic spheres of energy. What is he doing? Asks Separi, with her scouter beeping from so much power increase. Piccolo and Gotenks still try to hold Rigor, who is visibly irritated, but Rigor even so manages to fire. He grabs Piccolo and throws him, preparing a kick and then kicking him far away. Piccolo seems almost knocked out. Then Gotenks says, look at this, I have this one. Damn it, laments Piccolo, and Gotenks continues going in the direction. Rigor tries several blows against Gotenks, but Gotenks manages to dodge all of them, and he says, come on, how was Vegeta taken down by a slug like you? This leaves Rigor extremely irritated. They keep exchanging blows. Then Piccolo does a Kamehameha. Rigor looks back, then blocks the attack just with one hand. Piccolo gets scared. Do not worry about me. Piccolo, just protect Vegeta, says Goten. Vegeta keeps preparing his attack, and Sapari says, no way your power level doubled, no tripled, and Gotenks sinks a punch into Rigor's belly, kicking him far away, taking advantage. He traps Rigor in his traditional key rings, and suddenly Rigor is immobilized. Gotenks starts to laugh, and he says, I have to be honest, I was not sure if this would work on you. I will tell you, you were tough, but even you were no match for the tactical genius, the powerful Gotenks. Stay away from him, shouts Piccolo, and Rigor shouts with an explosion of rage, and then he manages to free himself. He holds Goten by the mouth and says, shut up, giving a punch and showing him who is in charge. And with just one blow, the fusion undoes itself, and Goten and Trunks are knocked out. Enough, I will not distract myself, no way. Then Rigor has a surprise. Several balls of energy are in his direction. Did not see this coming, did you ask Piccolo? Then he brings together all the spheres of energy and blows up Rigor. Vegeta, are you done already? I used all my ki and everything we did was. He gets surprised. Stubborn insignificant, you little one. He looks down and Vegeta keeps charging all his power. This level cannot be. Okay, let us see you defend this. Darling, be careful. Combination final atomic splendor. And Vegeta throws an incredible blow in Rigor's direction upward, the most powerful attack he has. Rigor watches the attack coming in his direction, and then everything explodes. And what is happening? Pan gets surprised, and we can see a huge hole on planet Earth. Piccolo says, unbelievable. Sapari says, no, Rigor. Then from that crater comes smoke, and from the smoke comes Vegeta. This time, without transformation, he used 100% of his power. Then he falls to the ground. Piccolo gets surprised. He says, so much power, hard to sense anything now, but I do not feel any. Damn work, your stupid thing, says Sapari, noticing the scouter's defect. Then she starts to cry and says, please, please do not die. I can barely see the bottom. Piccolo, ah, my head. You two came out well in attitude without giving up. What attitude? Asks Trunks. Where is Vegeta? Wonders Goten. It may be a false hope, but it seems he made it go get him. I doubt he can move. And Goten agrees. Then they go there to get Vegeta, leaving planet Earth and arriving at the planet of the Kaioshins. Gohan wonders, Dad, did you feel that? Yes, an enormous power coming from Earth. Maybe Vegeta getting a little stronger in his training, asks Oob. And Goku says, I do not think so. Something does not seem right. I feel it. And the old Kaioshin says, it is time for you to stop. Damn, I cannot even try to get close to you when you are all excited. And Goku says, oh sir, do you know something about what is happening? And he just watches about to explain to Goku. Then we go back to planet Earth. Are you okay, Vegeta? I think so. You bastard, you killed him, says Sapari. He had not. No, this is not your business. I cannot believe how stupid I was. I was starting to think you had changed, but I was wrong. You are the same monster you always were. I myself should kill you for what you did. Then she points her hand at Vegeta, but her scouter starts to beep. What will this reading be? No, it cannot be. Up high then we see someone up there, and suddenly Rigor lands. We see his leg. Piccolo gets surprised. No way, Rigor. And we see Rigor in a new transformation. He is extremely strong. My love, I thought I had lost you. Sorry if I worried you. Rigor watches Vegeta. I even thought you had gotten me with that. Only my master back then hit me hard enough to force me to enter my attack form. At this moment you have my respect. However, it seems that staying in this form will not be necessary. Then Rigor returns and he says, your best chance to defeat me came and went. Now let us end this. Then on the planet of the Kaioshins, Goku is holding a bag with a senzu, a seed of the gods. Gohan says, if this guy is as strong as they say, then Vegeta is going to need it. Goku grabs the seed and says, let us go. Then Rigor walks in their direction bravely. Then Trunks stands in front of him. Trunks shouts, Vegeta, get out, kid. Not in this life. Not he is too much for you. Get out or be removed. Trunks refuses, then raises his ki. Your firm desire to defend him is admirable. You remind me of my son. But this is your choice. Then Rigor goes with everything in Trunks' direction, and he gets scared. Everyone gets scared, until Goku says hi. He arrives together with Oob and Gohan. Daddy says Goten excited, and Goku says, sorry, we are late. More intruders, how many of you are there? So you are the guy who made all this mess? Ah, yes, I can sense that you are strong. strong. This cursed world is willing to sacrifice itself for you, Vegeta. Vegeta says elegantly, late as usual, Kakaroto. Is it true that Kakaroto you are a Saiyan? And Goku smiles, well, Saiyan or not, I am tired of this constant interference, so all of you at once, all for one man. And Goku says no, not all at once, just me. And wow, he did a number on you, huh, says Goku, noticing that Vegeta took a beating. Shut up, Kakaroto. Sorry everyone, we only have one seed left. Just give it to me, you idiot, says Vegeta. Actually, there is not much sense in restoring the rest of us. You two are the only ones who have a chance. Then Vegeta eats the seed of the gods and Rigor just watches. What's your energy return to normal, asks Separi. Whatever we do, Dad says Gohan. Goku and Vegeta are apprehensive. You should go if he is that tough. Then Vegeta and I have to go with everything, answers Goku. Frankly, even together I do not like our odds much. He received everything I had and resisted, but no, they are right at this height. We are a little more than collateral damage. If we stay, it is better we stay out. And Gohan laments sadly for his impotence. So we will go, but if you get in trouble, we will come running. Got it. And Goku just agrees with that optimistic thumbs up as always. They must be far enough now, says Goku after they left. Why, asks Rigor, why do you keep throwing yourselves into the fire for him after all the suffering he caused? These things happened a long time ago. Vegeta changed a lot, you know? I mean, he is still an idiot sometimes, but whatever. So, you are not going to move away. No way, not at all. Now it is my chance to fight against another pure-blooded Saiyan. I want to see what kind of techniques you have. This is going to be fun. Fun, this is a game to you. It does not matter if you want to stick with him, then you can fall with him too. And Sapari Hidden watches the battle. Then Goku takes off his shirt so that the manga artist can show off that he knows how to draw muscles. How do you want to do this? If we want to live, then we better do everything from the start. It is not quite my style, but alright. Rigor gets apprehensive. Then Goku clenches his fist and he and Vegeta transform into Super Saiyan 4 once more. They look at Rigor. He also wonders Separi both have forms like my attack form and Vegeta's last attack weakened me against 2. My battle form may not be enough. Then Rigor also transforms into Super Saiyan 4, which he also discovered and he named as his attack form. Then Vegeta gets apprehensive and that black aura begins to come out again from Rigor's body. Separi gets surprised. Goku and Vegeta keep watching. Then Goku and Vegeta rise up against Rigor. The fists of Rigor and Vegeta go in each other's direction, but it is Rigor who gains advantage and punches Vegeta's stomach, throwing him quite far. But Goku quickly arrives to land a kick on Rigor. Only Rigor receives the attack, however manages to absorb it without defending. Then he catches with a punch and goes in Goku's direction, but Goku manages to dodge. He gets surprised. Then before Goku could notice, another punch from Rigor comes in his direction and hits him in the eye and nose, taking him to the same place Vegeta is. There, focus, you idiot. And Sapari notices in the battle, Rigor is taking advantage. Goku and Vegeta again rise up against Rigor. Goku and Vegeta start to exchange blows. The battle is frenetic, incredible. The Kaioshin senses the combat. Everyone is also very surprised. Gohan looks and says, I cannot believe we can sense the pressure from here, says Gohan. And we see that in the battle, Goku and Vegeta are losing again. Goku and Vegeta are on the ground. Rigor now shows that he is tired. Vegeta says, damn, he is much stronger than before, very strong. And Goku notices something, no, look, we are losing, but look at him, he is overloading his endurance much faster than us. You are right, says Vegeta. We just need to pressure him, not give him a chance to catch his breath. If we can wear him down, we can have a chance. Then Rigor Furious comes in the direction of Goku and Vegeta again. Goku and Vegeta fly in his direction. Rigor comes with several attacks, and Vegeta manages to block Goku too, but they are being pressured. Rigor lands a gigantic lateral on Goku and strikes Vegeta in a region you would not want to take a blow to. Sorry brah, there will not be any more brother Vegeta arriving home. He crashes against the mountain. And Rigor continues with much tiredness, but he does not give up. He goes once more in their direction. Vegeta, cover your eyes. Then Goku uses the Taioken and Vegeta gets surprised. My eyes. Come on, they created an opening and finally managed to strike Rigor, and they managed to push him away. But Rigor plants his feet on the ground. Now is our chance, right? Goku prepares a Kamehameha, Vegeta prepares a Gallic gun, and Rigor's wife gets scared. Then he fires an attack with all his forces. The energy is simply enormous. You damned one. And the explosion is enormous, causing pain to Goku, Vegeta, and Sapari. Goku and Vegeta get tired after this attack. Did you feel that Dad Vegeta and Goku are incredible, says Gohan. It is not hard to understand these two are way beyond what they were when they fought against the malevolent dragons. Goku and Vegeta observe the crater left. Then they realize that Kakaroto, he is crazy. And Rigor is still there. He resisted the attack, but this time he is in his base form again. He falls. And Goku says, this is it. It is over. Damn, please. Only please do not get up. This is how it will end again. All my provocations were in vain, mother. I did not. Your eyes have a look, darling. What do you expect? There is one last thing. Planet Kama several years earlier. We see an explosion. Darling, say something. Are you okay, Sapari? What happened? I cannot move. That is it. I fear it seems we have reached your limit, master. I have not. Then we see Rigor's master. I was hoping you would learn to let go of that hatred inside you. As you see, the mixture of these unfathomable energies produces disastrous results. You cannot progress more. Please, he needs this while he harbors this rancor. His strength will be all he has. He will never have peace until this moment. I have nothing more to teach you. Leave the past. Leave the past behind. The past is because of it that I have come so far. How can I let it go? I gave up everything just to arrive here for this moment. I will not let it escape. Not this time. I will show him. Rigor looks with a look of hatred. I do not know how long my body will last since this almost killed me. But with this, I can finish him with certainty. Then Rigor raises his power. That again, what is he up to? Nothing good. He cannot be doing this. Rigor shouts and keeps raising completely to his maximum power. He prepares. Then we see again his black aura. Sapari gets scared. She says no. What is happening in the world? Asks Gohan. A violent, furious storm of ki. This almost looks like when Goku became a god. And Gohan gets stuck. Gohan goes flying in the direction of the combat field. You fools. Then he goes flying after him. Rigor keeps manifesting his power. And this is the power from before. They get blinded by what to say. Rigor, darling, please, you have to stop. Rigor with tears in his eyes shows his incredible power. Wait, I know this power I am. Then Rigor's hair suddenly begins to turn white. Do not let yourself be dominated by the power. Remember the training control. The power, take it and make it yours. Then a gigantic explosion occurs, and from it comes Rigor. Goku and Vegeta get surprised. And we see the new transformation of Rigor. Kakaroto, did you feel that his ki disappeared? This energy, the power that surrounds him. I have felt this once before, Lord Beerus. Without Vegeta seeing Goku receives an attack. Kakaroto. Rigor watches. Then Sapari arrives. Darling, that is enough. They were already beaten. Now, please, you have to leave this form. Rigor watches with a look of duality. Then, darling, now it is over. We can finally put this. Get out while I can still control myself. And she gets surprised and crying. Rigor going back to the battle. At that moment, distant through space, what was that? Could it be? I sensed a sudden explosion. An explosion of divine energy. Very far intriguing, but unexpected. I was searching for a while. I was starting to think that an opportunity like this would not come. At least now I know which direction to follow, says this mysterious warrior. The next chapter is called The Last Hope, and it is the final chapter. For you all to receive the final, this video here has to have good engagement. So drop a lot of likes so I can make the best video to bring the final for you. Comment down below too if you want that many comments. Also motivate me. Subscribe so you do not miss the next ones, and know that here on the channel there are several manga even better than this one, besides thematic videos of lists like the strongest of Dragon Ball. I also follow the original manga of Dragon Ball Super monthly whenever it comes out, and also everything that comes out you follow here. You just have to open the channel and you will see there is a lot of Dragon Ball, and the channel is really cool. So please subscribe, as this helps me a lot. It costs nothing to you, and I greatly appreciate the support. And that is basically it, people. I will see you in the next chapter, or even before that. The playlist with all the chapters is appearing here on the screen. You just have to click and you can follow the complete story.